Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Linden City Council meeting of September 21st, 2021. Notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 PL 1975. In addition to the publishing of the annual meeting schedule, electronic notice was provided on September 17th of 2021 to the local source in the Star Ledger, noting that the meeting would be conducted through the Ring Central program on how to access the meeting. The same information was posted on the city's website, Linden TV, the bulletin board in the front door of City Hall. Copies of the agenda, the finance report, and the personnel reports are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk, please conduct the prayer and flag salute. After the prayer and flag
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Note that members of the public who may be attending are on mute until the public hearing on ordinances or the public comment portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use the raised hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address as at any council meeting. Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you are registered more than once, you will only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When public comment is open, the ability to register will be closed. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the August 17th, 2021 council meeting. You don't have that on there. Okay. City Clerk, please read the roll call.
Mrs. Ormond?
Here.
Javik?
Here.
Caldwell?
Present.
Mohammed?
Present.
Cosby?
I'm here.
Roman? Blaine? Medina? Hickey?
Here.
Mr. Strano?
Here.
Quorum exists, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to now ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the August 17, 2021 council meeting minutes.
Council President.
Go ahead, Barry.
President Pro Temp, I move for approval of the minutes from August 17th, 2021, and request a second.
Second.
You're not muted.
Roll call.
Mrs. Ormond?
Abstain.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
And Mr. Strano?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. Okay, ordinance 6537 was continued from the meeting of August 17th of 2021. Mr. Clerk, would you please read the ordinance?
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, of an ordinance entitled An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Section 7-12.2, time limit, metered parking, remove East Elizabeth Avenue, North Side, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., East Elizabeth Avenue, North Side, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., East Elizabeth Avenue, South Side, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., East Elizabeth Avenue, South Side, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., West Elizabeth Avenue, both sides, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., and add Wood Avenue, the west side, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, except Friday. Wood Avenue, west side, 8 a.m. to 9 PM on Friday.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use the raise hand icon on the program. A member of the public has 3 minutes to speak during the public hearing on each ordinance. When the public is done, if there's no speakers, we're going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing and adopt the ordinance. I don't see anybody that's looking to speak on this.
Can I make oh, okay.
Yes, you can, Councilwoman, but let me just, if there's anybody in the public first. Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Could I make, I would like to make a motion to move ordinance 6537 forward, and I would like a second, please. Can I have a second?
Second.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes. I had to just navigate to get to the mute. My apologies.
Mrs. Hickey,
Yes.
and Mr. Browning.
Yes,
Got Councilman Blaine.
Oh, because you,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Blaine.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
thank you. All right, ordinance number 6539 is next.
An ordinance adopting the amended redevelopment plan entitled Block 339, Lot 5, the former D's Dugout, dated June 9, 2021, pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 48:12A-1 et sequence.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on the ordinance? No, it's down. There was a hand up. Nope. Is that SMT 878U? Is that Mark Pataco?
That's Mark Pataco.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see anybody from the public. Is there anybody in the council that wishes to question this?
Wait, hang on. John, you got it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, seeing none, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Blaine?
I make a motion to move ordinance 65-39 forward. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
No.
Roman?
Yes.
Blaine? Mr. Blaine?
You said yes.
Yes.
Medina? Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Strano?
Yes. Ordinance number 6540.
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements for the city of Linden, appropriating $723,800 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $687,610 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Seeing none, could I have a motion, please?
I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 65. We'll request a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby,
What's this number?
6540, ma'am.
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
yes,
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Ordinance number 6541.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Section 1, Chapter 7, Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations. 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on Street. Add 403 Washington Avenue, 1 spot. Add 28 West 12th Street, 1 spot.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'm going to ask for a motion.
I make a motion to move, ordinance 65-41 forward, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ormond,
yes,
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
yes,
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Ordinance number 6542.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $97,900 for the acquisition of a dispatch system upgrade for the police department and authorizing the issuance of $93,005 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Is there any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Seeing, is there anyone that wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Seeing none and hearing none, could I have a motion, please?
Council President Pro Tem, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 6542. Move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ormond,
yes,
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
It's on.
Mr. Medina.
I'm on mute.
This is
Yes.
on
Yes.
Hickey,
yes,
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Okay, we're going to go on to the consent agenda. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the city council, will be enacted with one motion. There'll be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. This is items number 1 through 5. Does any council member wish to remove an item? See none, I'm going to ask for a motion in a second.
Council President Pro Temp, I'd like to make a motion to pass consent agenda items 1 through 5 and request a second.
second,
Okay,
Mrs. Ormond,
yes,
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby, Mrs. Crosby,
I say yes. Can they stop muting me? Because I'm here quiet. I just don't want to have to keep struggling to get back to the unmute. I say yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Okay, at this time, we're going to go into committee reports and comments from members of the governing body. We'll start with Councilwoman Ormond from the First Ward.
Thank you, Council President Pro Temp. I'm going to start off with the Budget Review and Finance Report. Approval is requested for the following finance actions. Payment of bills totaling $2,445,498.11. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and the Finance Chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the City Clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investments made by our City Treasurer for the month of August at the rate of 0.05%. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
No.
Roman,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mr. Strano.
Yes.
Okay, for my Division of Transportation and Parking Report, I hereby submit the monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of August 2021. This report includes the collection of on and off-street parking, meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. The Trenton site collections, $1,457. The New York site collections, $872. Railroad credit card transactions, $20,638. Railroad permits, $603. Online railroad permits, $228. Parking meter collections, $14,626.80. And merchant permits, $40.10 for the grand total of $38,464.90. This has been submitted by the Traffic Maintenance Supervisor, Tyrone L. Gibbons. Now, to start my report, I would like to first of all go over a report that was handed to me by Sandra Jackson, who works with the Mayor's Youth Commission. This month, we had the annual backpack giveaway. Actually, it was at the end of August. And we would just like to thank the people who were instrumental in supporting the cause. So in collaboration with the Mayor's Youth Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, local businesses and community-based partners, supplies for over 1,300 backpacks to Linden residents were actually given. Supporters include CIC Incorporated, Good Samaritan Community Center, the Linden Fire Department, the Linden Police Department, Greater Mount Moriah Baptist Church, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Pinoni, Linden Aviation Services, Worson Funeral Home, Wheelan Auto Coach, Northfield Bank, Total Lubricants, VFW Ladies Auxiliary, Paramount Metal and Finishing, Adele Jackson, Virginia Malik, Shakira Reeves, Isabel Sakosha, Melissa Wilson, Mary Skramabowski, Kathy Teleso Loftus, Janine Bafarha, Priscilla Caro, Samara Jones, and many other anonymous donors. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We cannot hear you now.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the precursor to my award report. Okay, I'd like to start off by stating that Sidewalk Repair has been started on West Curtis Street from, I believe, from DeWitt all the way down to Style Street. Handicap accessible corners have been incorporated, but I want to let the residents know that the contractors are not finished. They have left your property in a complete mess. The sidewalks are much lower than what your typical property line or grass levels are, but they will be coming back out to grade them and to reseed to restore your property back to its original state. So I apologize that you have to sit up there and look at the mess that was left, but trust me, I've been working with engineering to make sure that we get the contractor back on it to ensure that they complete and finish your property. There are also people who are on that sidewalk list from as far back as 2019 on West Curtis Street. We will be getting to those sidewalks as well. We're just going to follow up with those that were contracted to do so, keeping in mind that COVID created a major problem and a backlog in the work that needed to be done. Some good news for the residents in District 1-1. If we recall, back in June, the house formerly on Washington Avenue, the nightclub, went before the Alcohol Bureau Commission, and their license for alcohol as well as entertainment was denied. They had an opportunity to appeal, but I guess they realized that it was a hopeless cause. They did not appeal. So as a result, the liquor license is officially gone, and we will no longer have any, I guess, trace of them coming back to Washington Avenue to create a disturbance and a hindrance to our community. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank DPW for their hard work. We had a lot of residents that had flooding and damage during Hurricane Ida. DPW is out there working overtime, and they're working hard. Sometimes I believe they work harder than most departments in our city. Let's give them a break. They are picking up moldy, smelly items, taking them to be dumped, and having to endure 3-hour waits just to empty their truck, where typically the turnaround time is much sooner. So while you feel as though we are not addressing the debris and the bulk waste from Hurricane Ida, we are going to get to it. The mayor has assured us that if we need additional time to extend, we will be more than glad to do so. But one thing I do want to make clear is that this is not the time to dump your rubber tires, to start cutting down trees and throwing tree branches out there for our Department of Public Works to pick up. We were really trying to focus on the water damage done by Hurricane Ida. So in all fairness, let's make sure that we focus on those items getting drug out so our Department of Public Works can get to other residents who have not yet been helped in terms of their Ida damages. So once again, thank you to Department of Public Works for your hard work, because sometimes you're just not recognized enough for what you do. I also want to talk about the huge cultural and diversity explosion that's going on here in Linden. It's totally amazing. The mayor is going to speak on the Polish festival that occurred, and he's going to also highlight some of the other festivals that are on deck for our Linden community. But I would like to also talk about 2 very wonderful events that happened in the First Ward last month. And
Councilwoman, I really don't want to cut you off, but you're over your 5-minute time limit. Can you wrap it up, please?
My 5-minute limit also involves the traffic report and other things. So I do beg your indulgence, because if they want me to start skipping these other things, I'll be more than glad to do so to start addressing my community. But we have a lot of things going on, so I do appreciate the extra minutes. We have like I said, we have a huge cultural diversity explosion in the city of Linden. St. Mary Bishop and Benoit Coptic Church last weekend and this weekend had an amazing festival. It was open to the public. Their church is beautiful. I had an opportunity to get a tour of it. And what I would like to encourage everyone to do, when you see these festivals that are occurring, they are open to the public. This is an opportunity for us to learn and to see how others are living and blending into our community. And then last but not least, last month we had the moving or the acceptance of a Torah by the local Hasidic synagogue. It was like about 90 minutes where they take the Torah from the rabbi's house and actually walk it to the synagogue. It was an opportunity for everyone to just experience something that we've never experienced before. It was 90 minutes. I spend more time in my Sunday service than what they did. And I actually got more complaints about not being told or how long it took. They followed every rule in terms of getting permits and being able to do this. I do apologize that we did not send notification out to the residents in enough time, but it was something that was definitely worth seeing. I believe it's been 90 years since a Torah has been presented to a synagogue. So please, everyone, take the time to get to learn about the different cultural entities that we have here in the city of Linden. Once you learn about them, you can truly appreciate the differences and learn to embrace what our city is actually becoming, which is a complete melting pot. I thank you for allowing me to have a few extra minutes, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Barry Javitt, second ward.
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. Okay, I'm going to start with the personnel report, but I just want to make sure, can everybody hear me out there?
Yes.
Chief, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Okay.
Hear you.
Get a thumbs up.
Just want to make sure. Okay, so the personnel report. Number one, the police department accepting the resignation in good standing of Lydia Fernandez, police officer, effective August 23rd, 2021. And that was A. B, accept the resignation in good standing of Jessica James, police officer, effective September 2nd, 2021. Number two, in fire department, A, approve the start of background checks for 4 firefighters. Number three, in treasury, A, retroactive approval of Teresa Vitale, principal accountant, to part-time, not to exceed 25 hours per week, effective September 13th, 2021, at the rate of $49.88 per hour. Number four, social services, A, approve the appointment of Janie Jackson, clerk 1, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual salary of $34,548, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. Number five, Board of Health, A, approve the appointment of Michael Hall, public health nurse, full-time, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual salary of $90,000, subject to successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. B, approve the appointment of Yami Sintra Miranda, public health nurse, full-time, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual salary of $80,000, subject to successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. C, approve the appointment of Bethleen Blaze, clerk 1, full-time, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual salary of $34,548, subject to successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. D, approve the leave of absence without pay for John LaPlaca from the position of Senior Registered Environmental Health Specialist, effective September 22nd, 2021. E, approve the appointment of John LaPlaca, Vulnerable Populations Coordinator, full-time, at his present annual salary of $110,969. F, approve the posting for the position of Vulnerable Populations Coordinator, part-time, not to exceed 20 hours per week, at the rate of $35.87 per hour. G, approve the posting of 2 COVID generalist positions, full-time, at the annual salary, $42,000 per the VPOC grant. H, approve the posting for a COVID generalist, part-time, at the annual rate of $21.80 per hour per VPOC grant. 6, municipal court. A, approve the appointment of Denise Theoret, clerk 1, from the part-time to full-time, effective September 22nd, 2021, at the annual salary of $34,548, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. B, approve the amended appointment date of Zakia Brown, clerk 1, to August 30th, 2021. 7, construction code. A, approve the appointment of Monica Thompson, clerk 1, full-time, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual salary of $34,548, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. B, approve the appointment of Marcel Parker, code enforcement officer, trainee, part-time, not to exceed 29 hours per week, effective October 4th, 2021, at the annual rate of $17.45 per hour, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. 8, recreation. A, approve the appointment of Saskia Carrillo, clerk 1, part-time, effective October 4th, 2021, not to exceed 25 hours per week, at the annual rate of $18.98 per hour, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background checks. 9, engineering. A, retroactively approve the combination of Claudia Lukamaska, student assistant, not to exceed 20 hours per week at the rate of $12 per hour, effective August 31st, 2021. 10, Public Works. A, approve the appointment of David Brown, laborer, Tier 2, at the annual rate of $15 per hour, effective October 4th, 2021, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. B, approve the appointment of Brandon Heath, laborer, Tier 2, at the annual rate of $15 per hour, effective October 4th, 2021, subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment background requirements. C, accept the resignation in good standing of Adam Abenhamid, laborer, effective August 27, 2021. D, accept the resignation in good standing of Don Mar Long, laborer, effective August 27, 2021. E, accept the resignation in good standing of Jason Brown, laborer, effective September 1st, 2021. F, approve the posting of 3 laborer positions at the annual rate of $15 per hour. 11, vehicle maintenance. A, approve the resignation not in good standing for Celestino Deliz, mechanic helper, effective August 23rd, 2021. 12, buildings and grounds. A, accept the resignation in good standing of Anwar Witherspoon, laborer, effective August 13, 2021. 13, personnel, granting FMLA, New Jersey FMLA leaves to the following employee, which is on file with the Division of Personnel. And that ends the personnel report. Now I'd like to move to the fire department.
Motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion to accept the personnel report
Second.
and ask for a second.
Second,
You have a second.
Mrs. Ormond?
yes.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Yes. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Crosby?
No.
Roman?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Strano?
Yes. Continue, Mr. Javik.
Okay. Continuing with my fire department report, as chairman of the fire committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of August 2021, a total of $9,203.93. Regarding the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $61,955.41 for August 2021 have been added to the total deposits for 2021, totaling $487,793.58. Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone helping to get our city back to normal after the recent flooding situation. Additionally, I'd like to thank everyone also who made this past weekend's Polish Heritage Festival such a memorable occasion. Our Latin Festival is bringing the Latin community together, and it's going to be on October 2nd between 12 to 8 p.m. And our October Festival is on October 9th between 12 to 8 p.m. also. There will also be an outdoor dance festival on October 10th. And right around the corner, don't forget, we're going to have our Halloween parade. Now focusing back on our fire department, our new fire engine, Engine 1, is now in operation, and we're awaiting our new ambulance to come in by November. This coming Friday, October 1st, is Fire Prevention Night in front of the City Hall. The theme this year is Learn the Sounds of Fire Safety. What is your alarm telling you? There will be fire trucks, apparatus, giveaways, demonstrations, food, a great night for everyone between 5 to 7 p.m. And I'm sure Sparky the Fire Dog will be there, along with Freddie the Fire Engine also. In regards to the second ward, everything is still on track. West Elm Street will be paved this year from Style Street to Wood Avenue, along with additional and replacement sidewalks and additional handicap accessible corners. West Blanket Street should be finished in about 2 weeks. Our Lexington Dog Park is near completion. We're just waiting on some signage right now and the water company to put in a water line for the dog fountain. Once complete, we'll have a dedication and then it's going to be open to the public. Also, please, as a reminder, only put out on the street right now things that got damaged by the storm. We are completely overwhelmed by what's out there. I heard it mentioned as being 27 times the normal tonnage during scheduled trash pickup, which is a normal. I mean, plus we have other towns dumping also, so it's a real burden on the system. Some sanitation pickup schedules have been altered by this also. Homes affected by flooding will have construction permit fees waived till November 20th. Also, as school season has started, we're still looking to hire more school guards. Applications are available on our city website or at the Traffic Bureau at City Hall. And don't forget about your new residential parking permits. If your area is warranted, the traffic department has been open late to accommodate all the public recently. City updates are available on our City of Linden website, or visit me on Facebook at Second Ward Councilman Barry Javick. I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov. Council President Pro Temp, end of report.
Thank you, Councilman Davick. Councilman Caldwell.
Thank you, Council President Pro Temp. I'm going to give you the construction and code figures for the month of August. They issued 299 permits, processed 301 certificates, and generated $874,449,000 for the month of August 2021. As for the IT department, thus far for G Suite, the Mayor's Complex, Board of Health, Legal, Purchasing, City Clerk, Engineering, Parks and Recreation, and Council has been completed. For the next phase, for October and November migrations, it will be Public Works, Transportation, Finance, Social Services, Personnel, Court, Tax Collector, and Tax Assessor. I just want to thank the police department, the fire department, and especially DPW. They are going above and beyond. And I just hope people understand that these individuals are lifting items that are damp and nasty and with sewage. And I hope that you don't take advantage, because people are putting out tires and they're putting out paint cans, and you're ruining our streets of Linden, because when they're picking everything up with the loaders, the paint cans are falling in the middle of the street. So please don't put your paint cans out there. I also wanted to let you know that FEMA is offering assistance for the flood victims. You can go on FEMA and look up individual assistance online. And if you need to contact me, you can contact me at 908-531-0676. And my email is mcaldwell-newjersey.gov. That's it for my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Alfred Mohammed, fourth ward, please.
Good evening, Council President Pro Temp. Good evening, my dear friends and neighbors. I'd like to begin by giving thanks to God that no lives were lost in Linden as a result of the tropical storm, Ida, and to acknowledge our police and fire department efforts in assisting our residents through this major weather event. Our infrastructure is built to handle heavy rain, but it couldn't handle that kind of volume. 9 inches of rain within a 6-hour window was difficult to witness. However, I've always maintained that after every storm, the sun comes out. This mindset applies to weather as well as life. We are Linden tough. I applaud the removal of storm-related bulk trash containers in our ward and throughout the city. It's important we keep in mind that our dedicated DPW employees haven't missed a beat. They continue to provide tree removal, garbage and recycling, collections, sewer work, street sweeping, and the additional burdens of removing what's been placed at our curbs. Many piles have been collected and many piles remain. We're all recovering from what could well be classified as a 1,000-year storm as opposed to the often referred to 100-year storm. I applaud our workforce and you, my dear residents, for your patience during these trying times. As always, my friend, I'm just a phone call away. Feel free to call with a question, concern, or simply to chat. My direct line is 908-463-4843. That concludes my fourth ward report, Council President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cosby, fifth ward.
Yes, Cosby. So good evening, everyone. I just wanted to invite my neighbors to get connected. If you have not already connected through email, so that you can be connected and get all of the information that I have been sending out regarding the storm or other important updates, send an email to rcosby@linden-nj.gov to get connected. Also, the Mongill Corporation has opened its list for Section 8 to the first 200 applicants. The applicants must be 62 years of age or older and meet the income guidelines. Applications can be picked up at 1425 Dill Avenue, also known as the John T. Gregorio Towers. If you need to contact me by phone, you can contact me through voice or text at 908-718-7933. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Roman, sixth ward.
Thank you, Council President Pro Temp Ralph Strano. It's a long one. I'm going to forego my normal report, and I'm just going to go into what I'm going to call a Hurricane Ida report. Honestly, with respect to the public, if you need to address something else like the overgrown grass or widening of a paving project, please see my last 3 reports. Feel free to call me at 908-494-5784. I will say that we've spent a lot of money on West Linden Avenue paving, and it was just a few days before Hurricane Ida hit, and it held up very well, except for where the brook was, which overflowed in almost every spot it goes through in the city of Linden. On September 1st evening, Hurricane Ida came and dropped nearly 9 inches of rain on this side of Linden in just about 3 hours. Prior to the storm, I directed DPW to clean all the storm drains out that were our problem areas. The storm drains are often Sorry about that. These storm drains are often referred to as sewers, but they're really storm rain runoff drains. DPW did clean out 12th, 11th, 13th, Emma, even Woodlawn and Clinton. These are major problem areas for us in the 6th Ward during a normal summer storm. And as you know, this was not a normal summer storm. I started getting texts and pictures as the water was rising immediately, and videos of cars floating away on 12th Street. 12th Street flooded first, came up to the doorsteps of the people on 12th, in between 12th and 13th, and the water started to travel through their backyards over to 13th Street. At the same time, the drains on Emma and 13th started to overflow. These are previously designated inadequate by a study that the city of Linden did in 2014. These storm drains. At this now during Superstorm during Superstorm Sandy in 2012, these drains overflowed when the storm surge pushed over the hill and through Morse Creek into the graveyard and then into the houses on Emma Place and other parts of Tremblay Point during Superstorm Sandy, resulting in some spots of up to 6 to 8 feet of water. During this storm, which thankfully happened at low tide, because honestly, I don't know what it would have been like if it was high tide, but there was no push from the storm surge. It was simply an overflow of the Morris Creek that came and ripped down Emma Place. By 10 p.m., the storm had exceeded Sandy levels, and we were close to 8 to 10 feet of water on Emma Place. I can't explain the scene to you. I saw pictures. The graveyard was gone. It was horrific. The phone calls I received of people crying and losing almost everything. It was a really tough night for us all over there. And I really just have to thank Police Chief Hart, the fire department, Chief Haskell, everyone that was working that night, everyone that's been working since. They literally, I think they call an MRAP. They have a military surplus vehicle that they brought out and dug right through 5 foot of water in the middle of Emma Place after the storm and actually evacuated some of our residents, 2 of them being nearly 90 years old. And they lost their whole first floor, their whole basement. A lot of people lost most of their belongings, and I'm really thankful that the police were there and the fire department was there. The very next morning by 8 a.m., the fire department came with 3 trucks and 3 pumps and individually went to every single house and pumped the water out of their basements. And at 8 a.m., once the waters did recede, there was still 8 foot of water in these basements, all their belongings completely destroyed. And it was really the one good thing seeing this is that the community came together. Everyone started helping each other. They would go into each other's houses and one by one take everything out and then work on the next house. And it was really a great sight to see. Thankfully, we will, 6 waters are strong. We're going to prevail. And thankfully, there's government assistance available. So if anyone needs anything from me, if I can help in any way, please call me, 908-494-5784. FEMA assistance is available. All you have to do is Google Ida FEMA assistance. If you had any damage, please sign up, especially after you're done dealing with your insurance companies, as I am hearing that there are a lot of people that aren't going to be covered in instances. And Emma 12th was just the worst hit. It was not the, everything in the ward. Morris Avenue, Munsell Avenue. I was down near Wheeler Park, and Wheeler Park Bridge had overcome.
Councilman.
Yes, Council President. Thank you.
Yes.
Council President Totem. Just give me,
Go ahead. Thank you.
1 minute. I'll give a 1 minute timer. Thank you, sir. I know everyone had a lot of damage, and I know that there's a lot of trash out there. On September 3rd, DPW came and took care of Emma and 13th right away. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything they've done for us thus far. These boys are tired. They've been working their tails off nonstop. They have picked up 1,600 tons of trash, where a normal trash day in a normal ward is not even 60 tons. So please be patient with us. Be patient with them. If you see them, thank them. Buy them a beer. Buy them after their shift. Buy them a sandwich, and thank them. Because they have been working, and for them to be working at some of these wages is it's amazing. So really want to thank DPW, thank everyone. And again, if I'm always here for anyone that may need me during this. So thank you, Council President Pro Tem Ralph Strano.
Okay, John, thank you. Councilman Blaine?
Thank you. Hello, City of Linden, and especially the 8th Ward. I'd first like to give my report on Parks and Recreation. The JTG Center was flooded. They had significant roof damage. All activities were suspended for at least a couple of days there. Good news is the roof is fixed and all activity has resumed. On a brighter note, the Halloween parade is on schedule for October 24th, 2 p.m. Wood Avenue. They were asking for volunteers of people who wanted to walk the parade, and hey, this is a great opportunity to get out and you know, let's shake off Ida and get out and have some fun and come together as a community. Is a great opportunity. Due to Ida, I have to say this, sad to say, but due to Ida, Union County Nutritionist Program is suspended until further notice. That in basic terms, the Meals on Wheels program for seniors is suspended until further notice. They've been flooded, the kitchens are flooded, they're just inundated with water damage due to Ida. So I hope that programs come back online so we can continue to look after the seniors as we should. Good news again, fall programs for Recreation Department has opened up. You should have received, some of you should receive your mail literature. Go online, please sign up. There's some wonderful programs. We're doing some really good things in the city of Linden. There's 4 festivals you should partake in. One that just took place this last weekend was the Polish Festival. There's a lot of good food out there. There's the Latin Festival coming up October 2nd. There's the October Festival, October 9th. There's the Unity Festival, October 10th. So please come out and support the community, and let's have some fun. On a personal note, it was the worst birthday I ever had in my entire life. Ida gave me 3 feet of water to deal with on my birthday night. So in spite of cleaning up all the damages, I still was able to get out, help some of the neighbors, walk the ward, saw some of the damage on McGilvery, McKinley, Blanky Street, Henry Street. It was rivers flowing everywhere. Some people have houses where their doorway is level to the sidewalk. And when I tell you the damage is just surreal. One couple I met that just bought a home in the 8th Ward, and their Mercedes-Benz was just underwater, and they just bought the home. So your heart have to go out to them. But, you know, I look at this on the bright side that we're still here. We still have life. If you're still listening to me, you're a blessed individual, and you have to look at the brighter side. A lot of stuff got damaged, but it's all material goods. As long as God has given you life, man, you still have a chance. And I had the opportunity to go over and partake into the reunion program that the city of Linden and Mayor Armstead, along with Kyle Smith, put together. It was a great program. Unfortunately, I was dealing with my issues at home. I got over and had a chance to partake in some of the festivities. It was a good night. Man, I look forward to next year. Hopefully we're on better terms and we get a chance to get out there and do it again. Again, as has been said over and over and over again, if you experience any damage to your home, you can go online to FEMA and please sign up. No need to suffer in silence. You can go out and there's some aid that's available that you can sign up for. And for all those who are calling me, telling me about their garbage not being picked up, their water damage stuff not being picked up. Yes, I understand it's an eyesore, but understand that this was a historic event that happened in the city of Linden. There were over 150 homes pumped out, 150 homes that were pumped out that were just inundated with water. There's 1,600 tons of garbage that's being collected, 27 times the normal tonnage of garbage. So when I tell you the DPW is out there working, man, I want to give hats off to the police department, the fire department, our DPW department, and most of all, as I always say, Jerry Bishop for always coming through, going above and beyond. We had an issue over in Ogden. The residents was concerned about some of the conditions over there, and he jumped right on it. So we're blessed over here in the 8th Ward. We have our challenges, but we meet them head on. And thanks to the help of the entire staff of the city, man, we like to say we love Lyndon and we're Lyndon proud. That's all, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilman Medina.
Thank you, Council President Pro Temp. I have a short report tonight, but I also want to echo my colleagues on council when it comes to our DPW, our fire department, our police department, and just everyone overall that helps to with the Ida storm and continue to be out there and taking care of our residents. It really is a true testament what Linden is as a community and what we have to offer as a city. I remember in the past, Sandy and whatnot and other storms. I think Linden is one of those cities that always rebounds pretty quickly because of its workforce and because of the people that we have here that are truly dedicated to just serving the residents. So just a big thank you to them. Along those lines, I know I've been receiving tons of calls from folks here in the 9th Ward. I know we still have some storm damage trash out there. I know it's starting to smell a little bit, but again, I just ask folks to be patient. The other side of town was just devastated. I took a ride down on the other side of town and it was really something to see. I really felt bad. I felt terrible for those people. They lost absolutely everything. Not only personal possession, their vehicles and whatnot. It was a terrible storm. So I continue to ask people, please just be patient. I'm hoping DPW will be out this week. I know our scheduled bulk trash is on the 22nd, which is tomorrow. And then the following week, it'll be the 10th Ward, but part of that is the 9th Ward. But again, I just ask folks, please be patient. We do have some streets here that do have some bulk trash out there. We do have some stuff out here, but it's nowhere near what the other side of town experienced or the other wards experienced when it came to the storm. So as folks just continue to be patient. Besides that, I just want to report that the paving on Orchard and Summit went really, really well. The striping went great also as well. That's between the 1st and 9th Ward. I have been receiving some complaints on the newly installed speed stripes. I personally do not like these speed stripes. I think they're more of a nuisance. They create quality of life issues, and quite frankly, they're ineffective. They are 100% ineffective. I had no idea that these speed stripes were going to be installed. I did send out an email with my colleague, Councilwoman Ormond, because I know she's receiving some complaints on the noise that these speed stripes are creating on Orchard and Summit. When I first came on board in council in 2013, I worked extremely hard and invested a lot of time with our traffic bureau at that time, to get stop signs on Orchard and DeWitt. Along with those stop signs, we approved the speed humps We never installed the speed humps on Orchard and Summit and certain sections of the way around schools and parks. The monies or the funds for those speed humps went to the 5th Ward on Dill Avenue. And you know what? I drive down Dill Avenue. It made a huge improvement. I think this council really needs to, take that ordinance that we have and start making part of our plan. Because at the end of the day, we don't have enough police officers. We do not. And we have other bigger issues in town that we're trying to tackle. And speeding is not I'm not speaking for the police department, but I don't think speeding is a priority. I go out every morning, I walk my dog at 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to see the careless driving on Orchard, Summit, and DeWitt Terrace. It is disgusting. And my fear will be that a child is going to get hit. That was my fear in 2013 when that family was hit on Academy and DeWitt, because a car went around another car that stopped at a crosswalk. And I was right when I called it back in 2013, and God forbid, I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to happen again. We don't have the manpower to enforce our local traffic laws. So guess what? We have tools. Let's use them. That's what Union City, Hoboken, Westfield, Garwood, and countless other towns in New Jersey are doing, because they don't have the manpower. They don't have the funds. So why are we not utilizing these tools that are in place, especially around our schools and our parks, where kids are congregating? It's frustrating. It really is frustrating, because you're never going to cure the careless driving or the people that are not even looking up. They're looking at their phones. So I encourage this council moving forward that we need to start doing this. I hate hearing the excuse, our emergency vehicles, but guess what? Those towns also have the same challenges, and they are still responding to their emergencies. No excuse, no excuse. We had an incident on St. George Avenue. That child is actually my neighbor's child. She is deadly. She's afraid to go back to school and even afraid to cross Orchard Terrace. Okay, we have too many dumb drivers on these roads, and we don't have enough police officers to enforce it. Okay, so I beg this council, please, let's stick together. Let's get some of these speed control measures out on our streets. And I would just encourage everyone to please just make it part of your plan. Besides that, I do have one more thing. I heard our Councilwoman Orman mention about the sidewalks. On Hope and Art, 9th Ward sidewalk will be started as well. We do have 2 years of backlog as well. And again, COVID did create a pretty bad backlog and an issue with, obtaining contractors and whatnot. Besides that, in closing, again, I encourage everyone together as a community, help each other out, help those folks that were affected by the storm. I encourage folks to just take it easy on the roads. I have a lot of children in the 9th Ward, between the 9th, 1st, and 10th Ward, a lot of kids, a ton of kids. So again, I encourage everyone just to do the right thing, take care of your community, take pride in your community, and together we can help our community, sustain our community, and make it a great place to continue to raise a family. I could always be reached at 908-986-6102.
What a phone.
Or shoot me an email, and I'll always try to get back to folks the same day or the following day.
Thank you, Council.
Council President Pro Tem. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Hamid, you mute yourself. You're not muted there.
He's
Okay,
muted
thank
now.
you. Councilwoman,
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. Well, it does feel good to be here tonight in City Hall for a meeting, I have to say, especially with my fellow council members here. I need to echo the remarks of Councilman Medina regarding safety and traffic and in the 10th Ward. And now more than ever, there's so many new families moving in and lots of children and lots of accidents in our streets and parks. So it is a huge concern of mine as well. I have a short report from public property. Our train station waiting room is now reopened as of last Tuesday from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. As Councilman Javik mentioned earlier, our dog park is just about complete, and we're just waiting for the water company to take care of the fountain drinking water for our pets. Wilson Park, our fishing dock has been renovated. I know there was many waiting for that, and it's a happy place for many to go to. The roof at JTG will be Gregorio Center will be 99% complete on Friday. And our Sunnyside Park in the 9th Ward has been blacktopped. Also, public property has been working diligently through all the events that we've had in the past couple weeks and future events coming up for family and residents to enjoy. I certainly was very happy that the past couple weeks I've attended a few events with my fellow council members and residents, and was very happy. Felt good to be out there, and I look forward to the ones forthcoming. I don't want to be repetitive about our storm. My thoughts and prayers are with many. It was an unbelievable storm, and unfortunately, many of us had losses. Certainly I did as well, 4 or 5 inches of water in my basement, but could be a lot worse. And I'm just glad that everybody is safe here in Linden. And hopefully it'll be a long, long time before we have something like that. I know all of our employees worked so hard helping people, and still are, and sure will be for the next few weeks. One group that's always a little forgotten is our Office of Emergency Management, or volunteers that have been going out on their own time and certainly helping out our police and fire department. Let's see, casino night for the Linden Housing Authority. Unfortunately, last year we didn't have it. This year it is on. It is February 5th. It is always the week between the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. So I just want everybody ready to know that I am ready to work very hard in making another great event that I thoroughly enjoy, and I thoroughly enjoy seeing everybody there, having such a great night in Linden. My thoughts and prayers are with John O'Brien. Unfortunately, John O'Brien was the man who was living on our streets. However, he was a veteran. He just never found his way. And unfortunately, I know we had several policemen out there looking out for him. I saw him the night before he passed away, and he was tired. And I asked him, I didn't have anything in my car for him except a towel. And he said, well, I just sleep over there on the benches by the American Legion. I gave him a towel. I asked him if he wanted any food. He didn't. And unfortunately, the next day he passed. I kind of see it as a blessing in a sense, because he was a lost soul. He was a kind soul, though. We never know what life can bring to us. But we always have to remember, even though he was living on the streets in Linden, he did have many people that loved him, and he did serve our country. And serving our country, unfortunately, has after effects on many that we don't even realize. John, we knew what they were. And also my condolences to Henry Mack. His sister passed away. We all know Mr. Mack and miss him at our meetings, the people said. So my condolences to him. And just tonight, a little extra thank you for somebody who's never mentioned, because everybody already had mentioned what I was going to. You know, Joe Bodek, our clerk, is a very busy man. And today, out of everything going on, 10 minutes before a meeting, and it sounds so silly, he picked up the phone and called me and said, Gretchen, make sure you come in off Knopf Street, Blanky Street, still closed. That's how much he really thinks of people. And Joe, I just want you to know you're not mentioned much. You're here always working hard, 24/7 for everybody, but it's appreciated that you always watch out for all of us. I really mean that. And with that being said, our kids are back to school. Let's be safe. Let's drive slow. Let's appreciate each other. Certainly I do. Anybody needs anything, please give me a call, 908-347-4548. And I look forward to a really nice fall with everybody in our great festivals in Linden. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mayor Armstead.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I have a quite lengthy report, as we should, with all the ongoings in the city and the flood.
You got 6 minutes.
No, I got 10 minutes. I'm the mayor.
6 minutes.
Okay, well, moving right along here. First, I just want to let council know that, you know, again, we talk about our budgets. I want to thank them all for what they did over the last year as far as putting a budget together. And as I mentioned, we had no increase, and the Board of Education had no increase. However, we just received our bill from the county, and we were assessed $1.4 million additionally over what we got last year. So, and unfortunately, this is a statutory formula that's used, and you know, it says no good deed that goes unpunished. Unfortunately, for us being so vigilant in our efforts to keep our taxes down, our property values went up, and this formula unfortunately punishes towns who do well, and kind of like rewards, it kind of balances out those towns that don't do so well. So some towns, the taxes went down and our taxes went up. The overall county assessment throughout the whole county, they were able to maintain a zero increase, but it affected Linden because we did so well. Our share of the taxes has gone up. But I'm going to put council on notice, and I'm putting the Board of Education members on notice that that $1.4 million that we are additionally assessed, I'm going to be looking to make it up through our budgets next year so that we can continue to have tax stabilization in our town. I'd like to talk about some of the developments that we have going on in town. 33-46 West Price Street. Developers have finally broken ground for these two 36 and 37 unit developments. As advised in previous meetings, the pilot programs of these two developments are projected to provide the city with an increase of about $6 million in revenue over the next 30 years. You know, those lots weren't generating any kind of tax revenues. This property has been sitting around for decades. It hasn't yielded one nickel for the city. If anything, it's cost the city money to maintain. And I think I got that moved backwards here. What happened here? I'm sorry about that, guys. Kind of messed up a little bit, guys. 1201 Park Avenue. You'll see on your resolution 2021-328 on your agenda for this meeting that a resolution would essentially approve the company of Bridgeway Associates to lease 1201 South Park Avenue for $1,500 a month with a 2% annual escalator. Now this makes sense. The property has been sitting around for decades and hasn't yielded one nickel for the city. If anything, it's cost the city money to properly maintain the property. Per the lease agreement, this is going to provide the city with at least $18,000 annual revenue, and it will be less of a burden for our public works department to maintain the property. This is a great testament to the hard work that our city workers and our staff are doing to try to you know, move the city forward and generate revenues. 1700 Style Street. Developer for this 27 residential unit development is just about finished with this new apartment complex. He plans to start leasing his apartments within the next 2 months or so. As advised in previous council meetings, this is another example of property that has yielded no revenues to the city, but is now going to provide the city a projected $2 million in taxes over the next 30-year period. Aries Clean Energy. The developer has advised me that they finalized mechanical completion, and based on the schedule that they are looking to, based on their schedule, they're looking to start initial commercial operations sometime in late September. Hopefully they'll be fully operational by our next meeting. As mentioned previously, this developer is going to process the sludge into a charcoal byproduct that's going to be used for creation of concrete and some agricultural usage. City Village development. City Village, as you know, is on St. George Avenue, right near the railroad tracks. This developer is finally completed with his development. Out of the 113 residential units, he only has 4 units left, and that's less than a year. This is a great testament of our strong residential retail rental market here in our great city. The developer also signed a lease agreement with Johnny Tequilas, formerly of Roselle. The owner plans to open up a restaurant with a liquor license, and more or less try to have a, I guess you can call it almost like a no frills American food like Applebee's type of setup right there in that neighborhood. Legacy Square, listed below is the list of the signed tenants for the large shopping center created on the former General Motors property. Unfortunately, I can't put this display up on the board for you, but Walmart's already open. Taco Bell is already open. Chick-fil-A is already open. $1 Zone is coming soon. Supercut's coming soon. Panda Express just opened this past Monday, and I can attest that the food was absolutely great. Verizon Wireless is coming soon. New Gin Nail Salon coming soon. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers just opened about a month ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. A real beef burger. Kids Empire coming soon. Buy Right Liquors also coming soon. Foot Locker. Aspen Dental coming soon. Wawa just recently signed a lease agreement. That's within the last week or so. Wingstop is also coming. Panera Bread is coming soon. America's Best Vision, AFC Urgent Care coming, and Phoenix Salon Suites are coming. Over the summer, myself and our LEDC director, Alex Laspinosa, have had several meetings with several of these business owners. The ones that are open are doing very well. Also, the following are currently negotiating leases with the developer: AutoZone, Naughty Crab, Starbucks, and maybe next month I'll have an update and I'll be able to talk about more people coming to that location. Linden First. Our Linden First has been working diligently with several of our developers and businesses in our town. As mentioned before, we anticipate they'll be very instrumental in assisting Peloton and several new establishments for their employment needs. Meridian Lifestyle 2, finally. This 145 residential unit development is finally complete, and the developer advised us that he is about 40% occupied with tenants in this development. I asked them about the restaurant on the first floor, and they mentioned that they are currently in the process of fitting out the restaurant and acquiring permits from our construction code department. Hopefully more details will come by our next meeting. The old Walmart property, as mentioned in previous meetings, the developer Centerpoint has purchased this property. They plan on starting the demolition of this shopping center by the first quarter of 2022 and construction in the second quarter of 2022. Our LEDC director spoke to the developer recently, and the developer advised us that our pilot plan that was approved for this project is going to provide approximately 25 to 30% more in taxes than originally forecasted due to the significant increase in the value of the warehousing market. For example, the original pilot project is projected to provide the city an increase of 10.4 million in taxes over 30 years. If what the developer is telling us is true, this project is now going to provide the city an approximately $13 million in increases over 30 years. Now, pilot plans that are approved calculated by adjusted gross revenue. Therefore, if the revenue is higher, the city is going to receive more money. We're confident this is going to be the trend for all of our new warehousing developers that come to town, and that they are the right initiatives for our city. We actually spoke to the city of Woodbridge recently, and they advised us that their pilots are putting the city on track to be completely out of debt within the next 10 years. And I think at some point, this administration is going to have to do exactly the same thing, start allocating pilot money towards the reduction of our debt. Also, Pizza Village Cafe, which was originally in the shopping center where the old Walmart was at, has relocated to 3062 Southwood Avenue. That's down in your ward, Ralph Strano, Councilman Strano. We're excited to support their newfound location right near our Linden logistics developer, which will yield thousands of employees upon completion. R&G Energy, the developer for this anaerobic digester plant, has been working diligently to get this project started, but there have been several obstacles with the state and the permitting process. The developer has also contacted our Linden First program and has begun the process of hiring plant workers. One of the last hurdles that R&G is faced with is trying to figure out who owns the road and how they can present this to the financiers with regards to access to their plant. Also, it's important to note that this project is going to provide the city it's important to note that this project is going to provide the following benefits for the city and state: 450 full-time union labor construction jobs, the largest carbon reduction project in New Jersey, and utilization of a fully remediated site. And that's the old Clayton property, which was contaminated, and now it's going to be fully remediated. Our special improvement district. The city has been extremely busy with supporting several events that are scheduled within the next month. Just this past Saturday, we held a Polish festival, and in the next coming weeks, they're sponsoring our second Latin festival on October 2nd, an Oktoberfest celebrating 160 years of Linden, which was the former September to Remember, on October 9th, and Unity Day on October 10th. The city is also working diligently with the USA architects to put together a design for the facades on the downtown. They hope to start this renovation project in the coming months. And as you all know, as we continue to develop our town, it's very important that we address the downtown area, and that those businesses are aesthetically pleasing. Just last week, our LED, yes.
Excuse me, sir. With all due respect, you've gone on for 10 minutes. You might have lost your audience by now.
Well, I get it, Ralph, but you know, as the mayor, I have to be able to tell you guys what's going on. The city needs to know how we're doing and what we're doing to keep our taxes down.
All right, please, in all fairness, please.
I'm winding down as we speak. Just last week, our LEDC director followed up with the developer that received approvals for this project. And he advised me that they finally closed the sale of the property. That's the Wawa on the corner of Edgar Road. Okay, I'll skip that, okay? Hurricane Ida. Many of our residents have been affected by Hurricane Ida. We pushed for Linden, as well as all of Union County, to be placed on a disaster relief list. With the persistency from our office, Senator Booker and Congressman Payne, we were at it. Linden residents now have access to the federal help they need to rebuild. The fastest and easiest way to apply is by visiting www.disasterassistance.gov or by downloading the FEMA app on your Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, or you can call 800-621-3362 from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time, 7 days a week. I have to talk about bulk garbage as well. Bulk garbage, well, in as much as you can do that, we have money in what we call our Community Development Block Grant Fund. And I'll be working with the engineering department to see how we could utilize that money, as the FEMA process will be lengthy. And I feel as though we can use our Community Development Block Grant money to help expedite and help those who are in I guess, worse shape, our seniors, towards getting some relief. Last but certainly not least, and I have some more stuff, but I'm going to skip. The president of Poland is coming to Linden, New Jersey. He'll be here Thursday, September 23rd. We do have a VIP list where certain people will be allowed to have access to him. But aside from those, there'll be a first come, first served basis for I guess the last 200 seats or so which will be at Linden High School. That concludes my report. Thank you, Council President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to tell everybody that I have yielded my 5 minutes of time to the mayor. So please be reminded that don't ever say I never gave you anything, okay? But really quickly, real quick, I just want to echo all the comments of my colleagues and the mayor, thanking all of those city workers and employees in all the departments for the work that they did in keeping the city safe and doing the best they could under the very trying circumstances. We're going to move on with the meeting. We're going to move on to resolutions. We have resolutions number 2021-309 through 2021-338. We're going to need a motion to discuss, second in the discussion, and then a roll call. So who has resolutions? I think that's 1 and 2. Councilwoman Ormond?
Yes, can you hear me? I'd like to make a motion to accept or resolutions 2021-309 through 338 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Okay, are there any discussions from the council before we ask for roll call? I see none. I'm going to ask, there's no hands raised. Oh, can you switch that over to panelists? No hands are raised. Thank you. Go ahead. Roll call.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik? Yes. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Crosby?
I'm going to abstain. Okay, sorry, I thought I was muted again. I'm going to abstain on 312, 314, 322, 328, 330, 331, and 332, and vote yes to the rest.
Roman? Mr. Roman?
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes.
Yes to all?
Yes to
Blaine?
all.
Yes, to all.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Strano?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to move into ordinances on first reading, or introduction, I should say. Clerk, City Deputy Clerk, would you please read ordinance number 6543 for introduction?
An ordinance establishing a door-to-door no-knock registry within the city of Linden.
Okay. We have a motion for introduction. Who's got that? Fine. That would be.
Council President Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion for introduction on ordinance number 65-43 and ask for a second.
Second.
Ooh.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Ahmed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Pastrano.
Yes. Ordinance number 6544.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees of the city of Linden, passed August 15th, 2005, and approved August 26, 2021, adding Schedule 4 PP6.
Okay, we have a motion for introduction.
Council President Pro Tem, I ask for introduction of ordinance number 5-44 to introduce and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
No.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Ordinance number 6545.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $235,400 for the acquisition of various items of capital equipment for the police department and authorizing the issuance of $223,630 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Motion, please, for introduction.
I make a motion to move,
President Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance number 6545 and ask for a second, please.
second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Aye.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Ordinance 6546.
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements, appropriating $940,500 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $893,475 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Motion for introduction, please.
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance number 65-46 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Yes.
Caldwell, Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Pastrana.
Yes. At this time, I'm going to ask for comments from members of the public that are in attendance. It's on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments will be allowed not to exceed 3 minutes. And note that the members of the public who may be attending are on mute until the public comment portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use the raise hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address it as at any council meeting. Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you are registered more than once, you will only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When the public comment period opens, the ability to register will be closed. I see one raised hand. Is there anybody else in the public? Okay, Sarah Aubrey.
Good evening, members of council and mayor and staff. My name is Sarah Aubrey. I'm joining tonight because I'll give my address. It's 648 Westfield Avenue, Westfield. It's my business address. My company has an ordinance authorizing the city to enter into a contract with us to provide grant writing services. I haven't had the chance to meet everyone here, and obviously the members of the public, due to the pandemic constraints, I'm not able to present myself and say hello to people after the meeting, but I just wanted to say hi and give my contact information. I can be reached at saubry@theaubreygroup.org. If anyone has any questions about grants or our company background or anything like that, I'd be happy to be available, and I look forward to working with the city of Linden. Thank you.
Thank you. I do not have any other raised hands in the attendees. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public meeting portion. Public comment portion.
I can make a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed, Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Pastrana.
Yes. At this time, I'm going to entertain comments from the members of the governing body. 1 minute. Ask anyone, if anyone has any comments, to be recognized. See raised hand for Councilwoman Ormond.
Yes, thank you so much. I just wanted to also include, because I didn't have enough time to complete my report. September 19th to the 25th is Child Safety Week. And we will be having a safety check on September 25th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 1200 South Style Street, located behind the AMC Theater. You can come to that particular location and have your child safety seat checked. A safety seat that is installed improperly is a disaster waiting to happen. So please take advantage. We have certified specialists, and one of them being our own Sergeant Oliveira, who will be checking the safety seats for you if you choose to come. Also, I wanted to once again discuss about the traffic. We do have an enormous amount of speeding going on in the area. The accident not only on St. George Avenue by the high school, but there was one also on Washington and Blanky, right around from the CVS. It's not only speeding, but it's distracted driving. It is critical that we pay attention to what's going on around us. children walking, riding on bikes, the whole gamut. We are ultimately responsible. Our vehicles are literally weapons of destruction if we are not driving them safely. So with that in mind, please be aware of what's going on around you. School is open. Children are walking. People are walking to grocery stores. People are walking their dogs. Be careful. And once again, Child Safety Week, September 19th through the 25th. Please have your car seats checked out for your child's safety. Thank you.
Thank you for that public service announcement, Councilwoman. I'll recognize Councilman Javik from the second ward. 1 minute, please.
Yes, Council President Pro Tem. In my report, I inadvertently said that the fire prevention night was this Friday. It's actually next Friday, October 1st at 5 to 7 p.m. It's going to be a nice big family outing. Thank you.
Thank you for the correction. I will recognize Councilwoman Caldwell from the third ward.
Council Pro Temp Strano. Just real quick, just want to let my constituents know I'm working on a new text platform. I want to send my condolences to Henry Mack and his family. And I also want to concur with Councilman Medina in reference to the speeding. We had someone hit in the third ward. My son was hit by a car 2 years ago in Linden. They are speeding, and I'm going to say something that I'm probably going to get looks, but I think if some officers lived in the town of Linden and their kids were, they had kids running around, it would be different. That's what I'm going to say, because it's not a priority. And I've already experienced having a child hit in the city of Linden, and I'm living to tell about it. I mean, my son is living to tell about, I'm able to hug my son. Some people are not going to have those stories. I just wish emphasis would be put on speeding in the city of Linden. I'm done.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Recognize Councilman Medina from the 9th ward.
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. I failed to acknowledge some folks in my report, and also mention that Northwood Avenue between Raritan and Amsterdam is actually finally moving forward. I want to thank Joe Kroback, Nick Bentina, Jerry Bishop, and Dave Martinez, everyone at DPW. Also the mayor, because he was involved in that as well, along with Commissioner Hudak in the beginning. So, been 40, I think 40, a little bit over 40 years, and that road's in really bad shape. So finally it's coming to fruition, and we're hoping to see that road paved in November. So again, a big thank you for everyone. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of collaboration. So a big thank you. And that's going to be a hell of an improvement for everyone on that stretch of road there. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Last but not least, recognize Councilman Blaine from the 8th ward.
I just want to reiterate to the entire city of Linden, but especially in the 8th ward, just be mindful when you're putting out your water damage items. Please be exclusive to only water damage items. The system is already strained. Don't put your tires, your branches and all that stuff. Adhere to the schedule. They'll get around to that stuff. But right now, the #1 priority is cleaning up the garbage from the storm. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. At this particular time, I would just like to take a moment to thank everyone for their cooperation during this meeting. It's my debut, and hopefully I don't have to do this again, but I still want to reach out to everyone and say thank you. The next council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, October 18th, 2021 at 6 p.m. in the council conference room in City Hall. Meeting is to be held virtually. The council conference meeting prior to the council meeting on Tuesday, October 19th will be at 6 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall. Again, 301 Northwood Avenue, but the meeting at this time is going to be held virtually. Council meeting Tuesday, October 19th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the council chamber, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. That meeting will be held virtually. And please check the city website, linden-nj.gov, for directions on how to participate electronically in these meetings and for copies of the agenda. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn and Request a second?
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mr. Strano.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Night.